I'm sure you get this question a lot, but why did you endorse Donald Trump?
Well, you know, when I dropped out, my first choice went with me. But I said that. I was. You know, I was going to remain neutral. But then I realized that, you know, the political establishment was aligning to protect their turf. And they don't like the idea of people who are not beholden to them and who cannot be controlled coming into Washington, D.C. And that was one of the reasons they didn't like me very much, but I was easier to get rid of than Donald Trump.
Sir, I hate to ask this question, but...
And here we go. This is where Whoopi directly confronts Ben about Trump's racist past. And of course, Whoopi, not being racist herself, can't let another black person have a different opinion than her. Not to make another Star Trek reference, but Whoopi would make a good Borg.
You have aligned yourself with a man who has bashed women, made countless racist remarks, and you're Ben Carson. Why would you align yourself with that?
Well, you know, you have to look at the good and the bad. There is no perfect person.
No, I know that.
But you know, you look at when Donald Trump first went down to Palm Beach area, and you know, a lot of the clubs down there would not accept Jews and blacks. He insisted on Jews and blacks and helped to break that open. So has he said some things that I wouldn't say or that you wouldn't say? Of course.
But he was also sued by the Justice Department in the 70s for not allowing black tenants into his properties. And he settled with the Justice Department, even though he didn't admit any liability, any wrongdoing. It's very clear to those of us in the law that that means that there was something amiss, and it was a significant consent decree. So the notion that he is a fan of the African-American community, I think is...
Well, I would put it this way.
Okay, a little weird terminology there with needing to be a fan of any particular demographic. However, I will say, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but when it comes to affirmative action laws, I have seen in my own life, and I've been told by many other business owners and landlords, because I work with several landlords, that affirmative action laws hurt minorities more than anything. Not because the harm is measured, but because there is harm that is unmeasured. The risk of being sued, the risk of being accused of being racist because you happen to fire somebody because they are a bad employee is higher than most business owners are willing to say out loud. You could fire somebody because they're an asshole. You can fire somebody because you don't like their attitude. If somebody accuses you of firing them because of their race, because of their sexuality, you have to prove otherwise.
I have met a lot of his employees, including African Americans, and they have nothing but good things to say. Somebody who's hired as many people as he has hired, and you can find very few people who have anything negative to say.
Well,
and then you have to look at his family. I always say one of the ways that you measure a person is looking at their children, and how do their children act.
One's a big game hunter. I'm not thrilled with that.
Well, I mean, that's your privilege. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, you know, they have been raised very well. They're very respectful. And, you know, I look at a lot of kids who come from very wealthy families, and I am appalled at what I see. So there is no perfect person. But what I think is really the worst thing that threatens our nation right now is a political class, a ruling class, and they are so threatened by anybody who is not beholden to them, they will do virtually anything. And I think that's what's likely to destroy.
You can say that till the cows come home, sir. This guy is, I'm sorry, he's a racist, and he's not good for the country.
What's the alternative?
And I'm sorry, I don't understand. He's not said about... What about the white supremacists? He hasn't really said to them, hey, listen, that's not what America stands for. He said, you know, it's too much. You're Ben Carson. You're so much better than this.
Well, I am Ben Carson.
Casting Whoopi as a hyena was a stroke of genius, and I doubt she had to do any prep work for that role.
It's not funny, Ed.
One thing these women on The View can't seem to figure out, and maybe it's because they're multimillionaires with multimillionaire friends, is that most people care about real-world problems. What is important to the immigrant? What is important to every minority? It's raising their wages. It's lowering their taxes. But let's suppose it's true. Let's suppose that the president is racist, and there's going to be a trade-off. You can have a racist president or make an extra, I don't know, $100 a month for the next 4 years. Are you going to choose a president who is racist but does nothing policy-wise or evidence-based that proves that he's a racist, but you just, I don't know, you feel he's racist? However, the trade-off is that you get that extra $100 a month because of the animal spirits in the economy. And if you don't know what animal spirits are, it's just the feeling that business owners get and the investments they make based off of good vibes. If you know your boss is a Republican, if you know your boss voted for Trump, the best time to ask for a raise was right after Trump won the election.
And that's the very reason I'm doing this, is because I look at the big picture. Could I focus only on racial issues? Absolutely. Could I focus only on women's issues? Absolutely. I could look at any one little thing and pick anybody apart on it. But right now, the nature of our country is at stake. We are on the precipice.
What we're
and
worried
we are determining what kind of nation we're going to be. Are we going to be a nation that's upformed by the people or upformed by the government? This is a choice that we are making right now.
Okay, if you're going to overlook what he says about women, if you're going to overlook what he says about African Americans, what about what he said about you? He basically said that you had a pathological disease. Wait a minute, hold on. He even compared you to a child molester. Come on.
Well,
it could be personal, even.
If it were about me, I would be offended. But it's about America. We have to save this nation. That is what's important.
But he's a liar. Unless you say that you're a child molester, he's a liar. Do you want a liar for the presidency?
Tell me a politician who doesn't tell lies.
Abraham Lincoln. I don't know. That's a lie.
A current day
but
politician.
the lying that he does is continuous. It's on a regular basis.
Well, again,
Fact check goes berserk when he talks. He's
got
got a long Pinocchio nose.
What I have to do is look at who is most likely to oppose the ruling class that is ruining our country.
Yeah.
This next part is going to clearly contrast the priorities of Ben Carson and the members of The View. Carson is going to emphasize the importance of saving the nation by focusing on the need to create opportunities for the disadvantaged and to reduce the dependency on government. And instead of responding to that point, Sonny will immediately go back to Orange Man Bad talking points.
You know, we agreed that we want to save this nation, particularly for the next generation, and talked about a variety of ways to do it. I'm continuing to work on mechanisms of presenting ladders of opportunity that will allow the downtrodden in our society to climb out of the state of dependency. Right now, the programs that have been put forth by both Democrats and Republicans for the last few decades are doing nothing but creating more dependency. We've gone from a can-do nation to a what can you do for me nation. It's not a good thing, and it's not helping America, and it's not helping the world.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Carson, and we know each other, and so I know you are a man of family values. What do you make of the fact that Donald Trump just yesterday is attacking Ted Cruz's wife based on her looks?
Look, I do not.
Has attacked other women.
I do not condone any of that. I don't condone it
but
from anybody.
But you've endorsed him. Isn't that implicit in that endorsement?
Yeah.
Aren't you
implicit
endorsing
in the endorsement
his behavior?
Is not an endorsement of anything that anybody has said or done throughout their lives. The reason, again, that I'm endorsing him is because I recognize that we are heading down the exact same path that we have been on all along. These political types are very slick, and they get you to believe that everything's different now. Now we're going to be wonderful people, and we're not going to be doing this to the populace anymore. And that is absolutely not true.
Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, you'll like some of the other videos on the channel. And if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do that, and we'll see you in the next one.